First and foremost, the 15,437. Can't tell you thank you enough. We have recruits watching in the building. Our players are going to talk about these type of moments for the rest of their lives. I mean, I had times I'm on the bench where I'm like, don't start crying because it's so special. That's what I truly felt. It's a special, special building. It is the most underrated fan base in college basketball, and we were able to do it on the biggest stage versus a terrific program. So very happy for our guys. They had that moment. We hadn't had a nationally televised game since 2012. We hadn't had a sellout before we got here since 2014. Hopefully we can continue to build off it. And it's great to see the community come together, be a part of it. They're staying after, cheering on our guys. It's what it's all about. So very appreciative. Just an amazing effort all around. We rebounded the ball, plus 10 on the glass. JT Toppin, I know he's going to kick himself for the free throws, but he played his butt off. Jalen House was phenomenal. Mash was in a little bit of a slump. I love seeing his teammates pick him up, and then he hit some big, big shots. And our defensive intensity was terrific. So a great day for our fan base and our team, and we'll enjoy it, and then we'll turn the page tomorrow.
Coach, they had you down in the first half. What changed for you to close on the 17-2 run?
We had they had no turnovers, and we stopped turning the ball over. When we talked about it, I think we had 5 at the time. They had nothing. And then when we went on that run, their number was up, and ours was the same as it was. And I thought that was the run more than anything. True came in, give us some really good minutes. The building got electric and loud, and so it was certainly a testament to turning them over. We had to turn them over.
So between enjoying those moments on the bench where the crowd's going crazy, did you take any time to think, okay, do I rein him in right now when Jalen's going off like he was throughout the game?
No, I think it's overblown. I think we've talked about it too much. I'm really happy he's on my team. There's going to be times he's going to be emotional. I know every coach in this league, I know every coach in the country would take a Jalen House. So I'm not trying to rein him in. I'm going to live with who he is, and who he is a really, really good player.
Coach, did you anticipate you being able to match their physicality?
We weren't going to win if we didn't. We were able to. We're smaller than them. We're not as big as them, strong, long, whatever you want to say. But we had to be physical, and when you see guards have 6 rebounds, 4 rebounds, 4 rebounds, that means we're doing our part to finish the possession. So we had no chance. You have no chance if you play that team and you don't do that.
So the Jaden Ledee factor, obviously, coming in as an All-American candidate. What did you guys do to take him out most of the game?
Team effort off him. We had to swarm him. Whether they didn't get a lot of post-ups with him as much as the elbow stuff, and we were just saying, listen, because they made some threes in the first half because we were helping off him. We wanted somebody else to beat us because he is like you said, an All-American, and he can get going. So I thought we did a really good job on him.
You did not start the second half like you had in the previous couple games. What was the difference?
I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't think it's one thing, but it's obviously been a problem prior to this. But I think in this building, just the energy, our guys were feeding off it. And they know, too, like they saw in the first 3 conference games, even the one that we won versus Wyoming by 17, we did not start well in the second half. We were much, much better.
You touched on it a little bit in your opening statement, but JT and True coming out as true freshmen and playing kind of unafraid, the lights weren't too bright for them. Was there any sort of talk leading up in practice, or is that just who they are as players?
That's who they are. It's hard. Everybody's got to make a decision. Are we going to recruit freshmen or high school kids, or are we going to recruit transfers? I want to blend. And I love to see the guys that come here out of high school grow and be a major, major part of this program. So we all know it's year to year. Who knows who stays around? I do know this. That they play in that environment, they're going to want to stay. Everybody talks about NIL. That is important. Not a lot of people get to play in front of that type of a crowd.
Kind of piggybacking off of that, specifically with True, what does it need to have not just a player come off the bench and perform, but a freshman come in and be kind of that energizer that he is as well?
He was. We put him in and we went on that 17-2 run. Jalen certainly can do that, but True has the wingspan to be able to do that and disrupt. He is fearless. He's got a great belief in himself. He works hard, he practices hard, and he's a true competitor.
The black party you guys had out there, especially the first half, what was up with that? Was that scouting or?
No, it's not scouting. I think more than anything, they were taking it to JT and Nelly. Those guys are talented shot blockers. I believe school record, right?
One off.
One off.
13 of most of them Mountain West game.
Okay. So that is a school record. Mountain West game. Great job of rotating. Those two guys are really good shot blockers, so I just thought they were aggressive to rotate over.
You know, nothing's fallen in the first half, and then Mustafa hits 2 threes. He's playing himself into the role that I think everyone thought he was going to have. I'm just talking about his impact.
Proud of him because he started, obviously with a really big slump, and I felt bad for him. He has stayed the course. His attitude has been really, really good. We know he's a better shooter than that. I thought we missed a lot of shots in the first half from the perimeter, but we talked about it. We got to make more threes. We did that, and obviously the second half we shot 53%. But for Mustafa to kind of snap out of that, really good for him.
So a result like that against a team like that is enough, I know. But everything that sort of maybe media, maybe some local writer keeps writing about, and fans keep getting at you about, is Mustafa slumping, Mashburn slumping, second half starts. You guys seem to answer every single one of the recent criticisms all in one game. Have you talked to them about any of those things, like in the locker room coming into this game?
I have for 2.5 years raved about our fans. I do not care one bit about their opinion on how we're going to play. I love them. They are amazing. I love the media. You guys are all great. I don't care one bit what you guys say. And that's not a disrespect to you guys. That's my job. So I appreciate that people care. I appreciate the work that you guys do. But it's going to have to be the coaching staff, myself. We've got to have a conviction. Everybody gets criticized. Every coach, this is the business we have chosen. I'm not offended by it. But that is a coach's number one job, is to, with all due respect, block it all out, and not get too high and not get too low. I had people coming up to me, somebody came up to me at my radio show, "You hanging in there?" And I said, "I've endured a lot of one-game losing streaks in my career. I feel like we're going to snap out of it." So, as I said before, this is part of the job. It happens to everybody. When it doesn't happen, it means people don't care, and that's a bigger problem than anything else.
Now you have Utah State coming here. I know this one just ended, but what are your thoughts on that?
I haven't watched them. I mean, I know Coach Sprinkle's done a great job. I've got 2 assistants who left me to go there, so I make sure the student section just crushes Eric Brown and Andy Hill. Both, I love them both. They're great guys, and Danny Sprinkle's doing a great job. I haven't watched much of it, so we'll certainly enjoy this today and then turn the page tomorrow.
Anything else for Coach?
A smidge off topic, but do you have any comment as the father of the halftime tic-tac-toe champion?
He walked up to me and he had the milk duds, and he knows I love milk duds. So very, very proud of him. The basket shouldn't have counted because the X was still on the court. But Jack's a winner, and so I'm not surprised one bit. Thank you.
Yeah, I definitely came for that. When I heard that was a plus for me, so it made me want to come more. And yeah, the fans are amazing. They support like crazy, and when you do something good, you're going to hear it. So yeah, that's definitely what I came for.
You guys went on a 17-0 run in the first half. There were also spurts in the second half, obviously, where the crowd really got into it. But I'm curious if you noticed, while it was happening, if you kind of took yourself out of the moment of the game and thought, man, this crowd.
Yeah, I was like, dang, I ain't never heard it this loud before. But because I didn't really go to the games last year. So, yeah, I ain't never heard it loud before. I ain't never been in an environment like this playing basketball. So, it's amazing.
The D did not have a great game.
Yeah.
What was the plan for him for
as soon as he put the ball on the ground, try to go dig it because we knew he wasn't going to pass much and he was going to try to go up with it. So we just tried to make him kick it out as much as we can. I thought we did a great job at it.
Is he as good as advertised, you think? Or,
yeah, he's a pretty good player.
You guys have 14 blocks, 8 steals. The defense on this team is what's carried this team this year, but kind of maybe went away a little bit at UNLV, especially on the inside. What was the change between Tuesday night and tonight to get that defense back?
We knew we was going to win on defense. We knew we could score on offense, but defense is what we can win games, obviously. So, yeah, we stepped it up in practice, and that's all we've been working on, pretty much defense and toughness.
When you have a home crowd like this, there can be a lot of emotions that go on, a lot of technicals, different things today, but do you feel like you guys can use that to your advantage? I mean, you still get pretty emotional.
Yeah, I feel like when we got a big crowd, we can't lose. We can't lose because, we be having all the advantages for real. And when they get louder, it's over with. Because we match their energy for sure.
What was the locker room like going into this game? I mean, was desperation kind of coming into play a little bit, starting 1 and 2?
Yeah, we just knew we had to play as a team and play with toughness because haven't been playing with toughness in the past few games. But I feel like once we play with toughness, like you can't stop us for real. Just on the defensive end.
I know he joked we won't mention the free throws, but I'm going to ask about the free throws. Can you dunk from the line?
I hope. Nah, I'm finna work on my free throws for sure. It ain't happening again for sure. Yeah.
Was that something in high school that you had an issue with?
Never. This is like the worst I've ever shot free throws, but it's okay. I'm gonna work on it.
Start second half. It had been a problem for this team. What changed today? Because you guys didn't do that.
Man, in the halftime, we said, nah, we not gonna come out slow. We gonna keep stepping on their neck, and that's what we did.
You guys have had some ups and downs recently, but I mean, an 18-point win over national runner-up, you're ranked. I mean, what does that do for a program, for you guys moving forward? How much confidence does that give you, that kind of stuff?
That just tells us that we can compete with anyone for real. If we lock in and play together, we can compete with anybody.
You guys are down, I think it was 35-22.
35-23.
Yeah, and then that run starts, and then the crowd starts getting into it. Fans can talk all day about the impacts that the pit can have, but I'm curious, what's it like when you're on the floor and the fans start getting into it?
You just think like all the fans on the court playing with you for real. It's crazy, but yeah, it's amazing.
How is it playing with Jalen when he gets on those runs like that?
It's amazing. It's so funny, but like he gives you that energy that you need when like things are not going pretty well. For sure.
He hit you. I think it was him. I don't think it was Donnie. I think it was him that hit you once under the basket, and you were actually facing away from the basket on a pass. Between Donovan and Jalen, like you guys have to, as big men, have to kind of always be expecting.
Yeah, always be ready because they'll
Did he
give it
catch
to
you off
you.
guard on one of those?
Yeah, I get caught up quite a lot, but I just have to stay ready. I'm a pretty good catcher, so good at that.
Tino's mentioned a freshman wall a couple times this year. It seems like you haven't hit that yet. I mean, biggest game of the year, and you have your biggest game of the year. So, I mean, where are you at right now mentally and just going forward in your freshman year?
What do you mean yet? Not going to hit it at all. There you go.
I just said to myself, I want to help the team. Try to help the team any way I could. Rebound, score, and just try to help the team. Don't try to like be a slump or nothing like that. That's the way I think of it.
So when you signed on with this team, it was Jalen and Jamal. It was the House Mashburn show.
Yeah.
And into this year, 2 of the 5 guys picked for all conference were Mash and House. This is the first time they combined for 45 tonight. First time that those 2 guys basically went off in the same game. Have you been seeing in practice those 2 play off each other well, and those 2 be able to do that? Or
Yeah.
are you a little surprised it took this long for those 2 to do that?
No, not really. I knew it was gonna come along the whole time. They played pretty well together in practice. I just knew it was gonna come. It just took time for real.
What about Mustafa? I mean, he's a guy that we all know has certainly struggled with that 3-point shot. He's been coming around slowly but steady for like 5 or 6 games now.
Yeah.
He hits 2 threes today. What's it like when he gets going a little bit?
It's amazing. I knew Stop was gonna get going. He's a really good player. He was in a little slump, but yeah, I knew he was gonna get going for sure.